For decades, we looked out into the deepest dark of our solar system, and we assumed it was a graveyard. We believed that once you passed Neptune, once you drifted into the freezing silence of the Kuiper Belt, everything was dead, frozen solid, unchanging. At those temperatures, the laws of physics told us that water ice should be as hard as granite. We expected to find only the scarred, cratered relics left over from the dawn of time. But in 2015, a robot the size of a piano, named NewHorizons, flew past the shadows and shattered that assumption forever. It didn't find a dead rock. It found a world that is breathing, a world that is flowing, a world that might even be hiding an ocean. Today, we aren't just talking about a mission. We are going to explore how NewHorizons rewrote the story of the stars, proving that even in the absolute zero of deep space, worlds can still be alive. When NewHorizons finally opened its eyes after a 9-year journey, the first thing that shocked the world was the heart, Sputnik Planitia, a massive, pale plane the size of Texas. But to a geologist, the shape wasn't the surprise. The texture was. It was smooth, suspiciously smooth. In the cosmic scale of time, a surface without craters is like a newborn baby. It meant the skin was young, perhaps born less than 10 million years ago. So, how does a frozen dwarf planet refresh itself? The answer lies in the chemistry of the cold. While water turns to stone there, nitrogen is different. At Pluto's temperatures, nitrogen becomes a slushy solid, a glacier that can flow. That beautiful heart is churning. Imagine a pot of boiling oatmeal, rising, cooling, and sinking. But here, it happens in slow motion, over millions of years. These are convection cells, erasing the scars of the past, constantly renewing the surface. It is a flow powerful enough to push mountains, vast ranges of water ice as tall as the Rockies, jostled by these nitrogen glaciers. It is a landscape that is geologically alive, driven by a heat we never dreamed existed. If the moving ground wasn't enough, NewHorizons looked up, and it saw a halo. Pluto holds a thin, nitrogen-rich atmosphere that reaches far out into the void. The probe captured over 20 distinct layers of haze, stacked like delicate sheets of silk, creating a beautiful blue ring around the planet's silhouette. This atmosphere isn't static, it breathes. As Pluto moves through its long, 248-year orbit, the air swells and freezes in a massive seasonal cycle. It creates weather, winds, perhaps even liquid nitrogen lakes on the surface. But the most violent intimacy is with its moon, Charon. Pluto's effectively painting its partner. Its atmosphere escapes the weak gravity, drifting across the dark gap to Charon's north pole. There, the sun cooks these chemicals into a reddish, tar-like substance called tholins. It creates a permanent red cap on Charon, a rust-colored stain on a moon made of ice. It is a brutal, beautiful sign of how these two worlds, locked in an eternal face-to-face dance, are chemically connected. After leaving the dynamic chaos of Pluto, NewHorizons traveled another billion miles into the deep dark to visit Arakoth. If Pluto is the living world, Arakoth is the fossil. This is what we thought the void would look like. It looks like two pancakes, gently stuck together, and that shape tells us an incredible story of love and gravity. These two lobes didn't smash into each other. They formed separately, dancing in a swirling cloud of dust. They spiraled closer and closer, and finally docked together, at a speed no faster than a human walking pace. It was a gentle, silent kiss. Because Arakoth is so small, it hasn't changed in 4 billion years. It has no heart to melt it, no collisions to break it. It is a pristine time capsule. By comparing the churning, youthful face of Pluto with the silent, sleeping face of Arakoth, we see the whole story, the frozen past and the fiery present. So, why is Pluto warm while Arakoth is cold? The final and perhaps most exciting secret is the hot start. We see cracks on Pluto's surface, stretch marks. If the planet were cooling down, it would shrink, wrinkle like a dried apple. But instead, the crust is pulling apart, expanding. This suggests that deep below that icy shell, Pluto might harbor a liquid water ocean, kept warm by the radioactive decay of its own core and insulated by the ice above. Think of what that means. A dwarf planet, billions of miles from the sun, holding a warm ocean in the dark. It changes everything. It means habitable zones aren't just around warm stars. They could be hidden deep inside the icy crusts of distant worlds, protected from the harshness of space. New Horizons did more than just take pictures. It forced us to admit we were wrong about the cold. It showed us that the outer dark isn't just a graveyard of debris. It is a collection of worlds, some ancient and sleeping, like Arakoth, others active, mysterious, and breathing, like Pluto. As the probe continues its silent drift toward the edge of forever, it leaves us with a new, haunting question. If Pluto is alive, what else is moving in the dark?